Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Mataji, for reciting wonderful shloka with translation. Thank you, Akanksha Mataji, and Nagamai Mataji, Kavina Mataji. Thank you for being a co-host and also for reciting a very nice. Second chapter is a quite large chapter, 72 shlokas consisting of. So we'll go through this chapter slowly. Let's understand this because as we saw yesterday's class, this is the continuation of yesterday's class. Harshali Mataji, you can post a message, or Akanksha Mataji, somebody can post a message in the group as a reminder for them to join. Let's start with a small kirtan. Okay, this is a kirtan. I hope you can see the screen. Right? You can see the screen, Mataji?
Hare Krishna Mataji. Yes, yes. Screen is visible.
Okay. Hare Krishna, everyone. You can unmute and tell Hare Krishna once. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Welcome you all for this class, wonderful class of Bhagavad Gita in 18 days. So I hope you have enjoyed previous class, yesterday's class, and I hope you all continue till the 18th day of this course, and also get your online certificate as well after completing the quizzes. Admins will inform you about those things. And yes, let's start with the small kirtan. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namini. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisheshaya Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jayo Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasati Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna everyone. So let's start with this beautiful song, which is Jeev Jago. Okay. Yes. Jeev Jago, Jeev Jago. Gora Chanda bole, Jeev Jago, Jeev Jago. Gora Chanda bole, Kotha Nidra Javo Maya, Pishachi Rakole, Kotha Nidra Javo Maya, Pishachi Rakole, Baji Boliya Eshe. Samsara bitare bhuliya rohile tumi avidyara bare baji boliya eshe. Samsara bitare bhuliya rohile tumi avidyara bare tomare lohite ami huinu avatara ami vina bandhuara ke ache tomare lohite ami huinu avatara Ami bina bandhuara ke ache tomara tene chi aushadi maya nashibaru lagi hari nama महामंत्रा लावतो मी मागी येण्याची औषधी माया नशिबारू लागी हरी नाम महामंत्रा लावतो मी मागी भक्ति विनोदा प्रभु चरणे पाइया श्री हरि नाम मंत्र लाइलो मगिया भक्ति विनोदा प्रभु चरणे पड़िया श्री हरि नाम मंत्र लाइलो मगिया हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. Hare Krishna everyone. Okay, so this is a song written by Bhakti Vinod Thakur, who is the grand guru or guru's guru of Srila Prabhupada. So he comes in the Acharya lane, Acharya line of ISKCON. So Gaudiya Vaishnav. So he writes this song that Lord Gauranga, that's Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. We'll know who is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu soon. So he gave us, he is telling that we are souls. So today we are going to deal with the term called souls. Okay. So where we are in this world, like a sleeping position. So what is our work? We'll know today. So he's telling the souls to wake up who is sleeping in the lap of a witch called Maya. So in this world, Maya, illusion, we are all under the illusion. So so he is telling that we have forgotten the devotional service and lost in the world of birth and death, right? We all are there any person who tells I don't have birth or I don't have death? Everybody has birth and death. Even small creatures in this world has birth and death. So we all are sleeping in this world and forgotten the eternal who is Lord Krishna. We have forgotten him. And we have and why did Chaitanya Mahaprabhu come here? To save us. And other than myself, you have no friend in this world. So Krishna himself is telling in Bhagavad Gita that Suhridam, he is very best friend of ours. We are finding friends everywhere in this world, right? We all want some friends with us, but Krishna is telling, why are you accepting somebody as your friend? I am always your friend, but you don't speak to me. That's the fault we do. We don't recognize Krishna as a friend, but Krishna is always friend. And I have brought the medicine. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has brought the medicine to the sleeping souls who are with all the kinds of diseases. They are bhava roga, with all diseases. We are here we are suffering in this world. Is anybody in this class who is saying, I don't have any suffering? We all are going through suffering from the childhood, right? We all have that suffering, either physical, mental, all kinds of suffering. So he has brought the medicine to take all our suffering. That is Hare Krishna Mahamantra. The Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. The transcendental vibration coming from Krishna. So Sri Bhaktivinoda Thakur is saying, I fall at the feet of Lord's lotus feet, and take the Mahamantra. That means this Mahamantra is so auspicious that anybody can be delivered from this Maya, this world. So let's understand today. Yesterday's 5 reasons we understood, right? Why Arjuna did not want to fight and all of that. Yesterday's class we discussed what is the importance of Bhagavad Gita in our life, right? And then we started discussing about the Duryodhana, Dhritarashtra and Arjuna's vision on Kurukshetra. Then we discussed also about what? We discussed about the 5 reasons that were given by Arjuna not to fight in the war, right? We'll just revise those 5 reasons that Arjuna gave to Krishna to not to fight in the war. Okay. Yes. How he will give solution to us for that particular problem. That is in Bhagavad Gita. That's why we are telling, no? All your problems are solved because Krishna is speaking here. What does Bhagavad Gita mean? Krishna is speaking. Gita means what? Song, right? And who is Bhagavad? He is Krishna, right? Krishna is speaking to you. You have to listen to him, no? Krishna is speaking in Shastras, Vedas, everywhere Lord is speaking, but we are not, our ears are not going towards the Lord. That's our mistake, not Krishna's mistake. We have lots of questions, but we don't go to the right source. That is our fault. That's not Krishna's fault. We don't go to Krishna. That's our fault. We don't listen to him. So we speak to Krishna, but how will Krishna answer us? Through Shastras, through Bhagavad Gita. He'll answer us. That's what Arjuna is asking on behalf of us. Okay, don't think this is Arjuna's personal question. Arjuna is not bewildered. Yesterday's class we understood, no, it was Yogamaya Shakti. It was Krishna's influence which made Arjuna ask all these questions. It was not Arjuna's personal question. Arjuna asked on behalf of us. So we should not think, oh, Bhagavad Gita is only for Arjuna, not for me. That's wrong concept. Concept is that Arjuna is asking on behalf of us. That's why I told, right, yesterday's class, to understand Bhagavad Gita, we should be in the mood of Arjuna to learn Bhagavad Gita, to understand Bhagavad Gita. That's the right way of learning Bhagavad Gita. Okay. I hope your question is answered, Ishita Mataji. Okay, so today's class, we are going to learn about the summary of Gita. Right, before a teacher, what do a teacher do before explaining the whole chapter? He gives us a summary, right? Before that, he gives us a small summary or a short note. What will be the content in this chapters, in this book? What will be the index will be there, no? In the same way, before Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavad Gita has already started. Before discussing the main topics, Krishna is going to give the glimpse of Bhagavad Gita in this chapter itself. While he is answering the questions of Arjuna, that the reasons of Arjuna, he is giving the whole content of Bhagavad Gita in this whole chapter. That's why it is called Gita Saramsha. That is summary of Bhagavad Gita. Okay. You can have a notebook with you and a pen with you, because it's always good to note down some good points you have listened in the class and make a note of it so that you don't forget. Because before there is a joke, or we can tell it's reality, that before all sages, they used to keep in their mind all whatever they heard, they keep in their brain, because brain was very sharp. But in Kali Yuga, our brain is not sharp, our memory, there is lots of memory loss, right? So before they used to use mastak, that means the brain, now we should use pustak. We should have a notebook and a pen with us while coming to the class. So Gita Saramsha was given by Krishna to Arjuna today. So what were the 5 reasons Arjuna told for not to fight in the war? You can raise your hand. What were the 5 reasons? Yesterday, last we discussed this. Okay, Komal Mataji, you raised your hand. You can write in the chat. Okay, fear, sin, dilemma, very good. Okay, relatives, what was that term? What was he feeling towards his relative? He doesn't want to kill his relative. He was compassionate, right? You can unmute yourself. You can raise your hand and answer. If it's wrong, it's fine. It's fine. You can answer. You can try answering the questions. Yes, Komal Mataji.
Fear of sinful reactions.
Sinful reactions. Very good.
One more is indecision.
Indecision. Very good.
And loss of enjoyment.
No enjoyment. Very good.
Compassion.
Compassion. And
destruction of family traditions.
Family tradition. Thank you very much, Mataji. Thank you. Yes. So as Mataji already told, and even all of you have answered in the chat box, yes, he does not want to kill his guru and brothers. That means he had compassion towards his opposite party. Yeah, indecisiveness. He could not decide what is happening. Yeah, attachment towards his family members, in the sense he was compassionate towards them. Very good. So what were the 5 reasons? That was compassion. He was feeling compassionate to his relatives. There was no enjoyment. He tells, no, even if I win, what is the use? Even if I get 3 worlds, what is the use? There is no enjoyment. Without relatives, what will we enjoy? Right? Without our friends, family, what will I enjoy? Krishna is telling, no? Then he tells sin. Sin will occur if I kill. And family traditions. There are so many men who will die in this war. Either they are father of a daughter or son, either a brother will die, either a husband will die, or a family man will die. Somebody will die here, and who will take care of the family? Before, during that time, all were dependent on that one man, during that era. And they were so safeguard, women were so safeguard in that. Even children's, women, who will teach them culture in the future? Who will teach them? That was a question mark raised by Arjuna. Then indecision. What will happen if I don't know if they have to kill me or I have to kill them? He was in indecision, because the front, who are they? Drona and Bhishma, who are grandfather and his own guru. And here Arjuna is standing with indecision, because he cannot kill them due to his respect, and they cannot kill because of his attachment. Now there is a decision to be made, what to be done here. So what is the connection between the second chapter and the first chapter and the second chapter? Let's understand this. In the previous chapter, Sanjay concluded that Arjuna was not inclined to fight. Right? Sanjay said, Arjuna is, we all saw that, right? Quivering, trembling, and his hairs standing, sweat, mouth. All these are the symptoms of his indecision. He was not ready to fight. And that made Dhritarashtra joyful. He was a bit smiling that moment, because he thought if Arjuna withdraws, then Pandavas have to withdraw this from the war, and kingdom will go to Dhritarashtra again. Okay, so that was the Dhritarashtra's mind. Arjuna, Sanjay reveals. I hope you read the chapter. If you are not read, it's okay. You can go through the recording again. Those who are new to this class, second chapter, you can go through the recording of the previous class. You can ask to the admins. So next, in this chapter, Sanjay, seeing Dhritarashtra hopeful of not losing the kingdom of his son, began to describe how Krishna inspires Arjuna. Now, there is a villain and there is a hero. Hero is withdrawing. Villain will obviously be happy, right? hero, if he is withdrawing from the scene, villain will be very happy. But there is a friend of the hero who will tell that hero will come back soon. What will the expression on the enemy's face or villain's face? Again, that fear will come. Exact same expression was in Dhritarashtra's face. Arjuna tells, Sanjaya tells, don't think Dhritarashtra that Arjuna and Pandavas will withdraw from this war, because Krishna is inspiring Arjuna now to get up and fight in this war. Because Krishna is encouraging, Arjuna will never withdraw this war, and definitely Pandava is going to win. Sanjaya tells this to Dhritarashtra in second chapter. If you see in the shloka recitation time, Mataji tells the translation, right? There, Sanjaya was saying Dhritarashtra that don't think that Arjuna will withdraw, but again he will come back to the field, and your sons will definitely going to die there. So Arjuna was asked to fight with his own guru and grandfather, right? Krishna is telling, or the situation itself is telling Arjuna to fight against his guru and grandfather, the Bhishma and Dronacharya. So has anybody in the history made such a sacrifice like this? Like history in the sense, the Vedic times. Do you know any of the stories you can recollect where you see that a person has done a sacrifice his own family members to do a right act, or to stay in dharma? He has sacrificed his own members. Any examples you have, you can write in the chat, or you can raise your hand and answer. Rama. Okay, Rama, he did not sacrifice, but then he followed the wolves, whatever he has took. Hiranyakashipu and Prahlad, very good. Prahlad Maharaj sacrificed his own father, Hiranyakashipu, to go in the right path. Very good. Vibhishana, very nice. Vibhishana also sacrificed his own brother, Ravana, right? To go to Rama, Lord Rama, in the right path. Very good. Who else? Any answers you have? You can raise your hand. Bali Maharaj, very good. Bali Maharaj, Harishchandra. Bali Maharaj, he sacrificed his own guru to go near Vaman Deva, right? Guru Shukracharya was telling, don't give him anything. But Bali Maharaj already gave a vow, and he tells, I won't take my vow back. And he is Lord himself who's asking, how can I go back, right? So yes, let's see some of the examples from the Shastras where we can come to know, for the sake of devotion, for the sake of Lord, for the sake of Dharma, there are devotees who left their own family, own well-wishers, so-called well-wishers in this material world, so-called well-wishers, they left and they went to Krishna, because Krishna is the supreme well-wisher. He's always well-wisher to us. But this material world, there are some called well-wishers, but they sacrifice them also. So sacrifice for Krishna. Who are those? One is Prahlad Maharaj. And Prahlad Maharaj, as you gave already the example of Prahlad Maharaj and Hiranyakashipu. Very good. So Prahlad Maharaj sacrificed for Narsimha Deva, right? He gave up his father because he was not in the right track. Haryashvas and Bahulashvas. So Haryashvas and Bahulashvas are the sons of Dakshas. And Daksha wanted them to get married and want to do progeny. But they rejected. They went to Narad Muni and wanted to become a celibate. They wanted to stay as brahmacharis. They did not want to get married. They sacrificed and they wanted to become brahmachari and serve the Lord. And serve the Lord. And they did not want to make demand of their father. They rejected their father's order and went to Narad Muni to become a brahmachari and serve the Lord personally. So that was a great sacrifice. And Chatushkumaras, also the same kind. Chatushkumaras were the sons of Brahma, the initial sons of Brahma, the first sons. And if we see, Chatushkumaras are just like 5 years, or you can see like 3 years child, right? That age, they are never growing up, but they are the first living entities, or the first children of Brahma. So Brahma wanted them to get married, and good for population sake, to create many universes and you have to populate. But they said, we won't. We will sacrifice our life for Vishnu. We don't want to progenate this world. Rather, we are happy in serving the Lord, and we'll always become brahmacharya. We never get married. And Brahma got angry, and there's a long story in Srimad Bhagavatam. So in that way, they rejected their own father's what you tell uh, the orders. Okay, then older brother and younger brother, as you already told, Ravana and Vibhishana, right? Ravana and Vibhishana. Everybody in Rama's army, they told, don't take Vibhishana in your side, Lord Ram, because he is the brother of Ravana, and he may become a spy for us, no? Because their party, when they come here and stay with us, they are spies. They can see what we are doing. So don't take. But Lord Rama is so compassionate towards his devotees. He knew, Lord Rama did not see his outer thing. He saw his heart, and he knew he devoted his heart to Lord Ram. He devoted his heart. And Ravana told so many things. You're Kuladrohi, you're good for nothing, and so many things. But Vibhishana was so saintly, he did not oppose his brother. Rather, he left his brother. He told his brother, don't do this. You are going to die, because that Sita is Maya Sita. She'll kill you. She has just come to kill you. But he didn't listen. So how much ever you try, ultimately, if that person doesn't listen to you, then leave that person and come to Krishna. So Vibhishana left Ravana, although so many criticisms were there upon him. But then he came to Rama, and Rama saw the real devotion in his heart. And that's how Rama gave the shelter to Vibhishana, who was Asuras, the types of Asuras. He was also one of them. But Lord is Lord for everybody. Then is the priest and host, that is the Guru and the disciple. So Shukracharya is the Guru of Bali Maharaj. And when Vaman Deva came, Vaman Deva asked for the land. Bali Maharaj, he gave immediately, because he did not recognize at first glance, but then immediately he came to know this is the Lord himself, before Shukracharya could recognize. Bali Maharaj recognized that he was the Lord, and gave all whatever he asked, he gave up. And Shukracharya, before giving the third step, he told, don't give, because he's Lord and he may kill you. You're Asuras, you're one of the great Asuras, and if you get killed, all the Asuras will die. But Bali Maharaj was so determined in his devotion, he rejected his guru's order also to follow in right path. That was this thing. And then Yagnik Brahman Patnis. So this is the time when, Krishna was in Mathura. After Vrindavan, he went to Mathura, and there the with Balram, he went there. And during that time, the women were not allowed openly to come outside. Okay. But then Balram and Krishna, for them, the Brahmana Patnis, okay, Brahmana Patnis means the wives of Brahmana. So Brahmana were making yagnas for Vishnu. But here Krishna came to them and asked for some food to eat, just for pastime. He was not hungry, but just to test those Brahmanas, he came, whether they will recognize Krishna or not, because Krishna is Vishnu himself, whether they will recognize me or not. One side they prepared bhoga and kept aside for the yagna, and another side Krishna is asking for the food. Now think, Lord is coming to your home and asking for food, and you are rejecting, saying that it is kept for puja. So Krishna came to know. They didn't recognize, because to recognize the Lord, you need devotion. So that's where we fall apart. We don't recognize who is God and who is making fool out of us, because we don't read according to Shastras. Brahmanas, they just know Vedas and mantras. They didn't know who is Krishna actually. So they rejected. But the wives of those Brahmanas were sitting inside the home, and they could see that Krishna and Balram are so hungry, and they are Supreme Lord. They could understand. Patnis, they could understand. Wives, and they came on the backyard, and they gave all the all sorts of nice dishes they brought, and like a mother they were feeding Krishna and Balram, and Krishna and Balram were so happy having that food because it was real devotion. They sacrificed. And seeing this, brahmanas, the husbands of those wives, they were criticizing them, but they didn't listen to them because here Krishna is there. There's no criticism. They will never understand those things. What the Brahman Patnis are there. And family and man are those people who left the family for the sake of uh, Lord. Okay. So these are Bharat Maharaj. This is the Bharat Maharaj, the first Bharat Maharaj, from whom the son of Rishabhadeva. In Shastras, when Bhagavatam, it is stated that from this Bharat Maharaj, the son of Rishabhadeva, this whole country was known as Bharatvarsha. This Rishabhadeva's son, Bharat Maharaj. So don't get confused by so many Bharats in the scriptures. This is the original Bharat, whose name was taken for this whole country because he was ruling the whole country once. Whole world. Actually, Bharatvarsha does not mean this single country, what we see today. The whole world was called as Bharatvarsha. So he was ruling and he left the entire kingdom. He gave it to his son and came to meditate on the Lord in the forest. Then Raghunath Das Goswami, if you read in Chaitanya Charitamrita, you can come to know who was he. He was the son of a billionaire and he left everything and came to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He was the son of billionaire. That time, billionaire was not like notes and coins. That was gold coins. So he had billions of gold coins during that era of India, during Mughals time. So he left everything and came to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself, to preach about Krishna consciousness, to give Krishna consciousness, he left his home and became a sannyasi and went all over India just to preach Krishna consciousness. And then Lakshmana, right? Rama's brother, and even Bharat. Right? This Bharata is the brother of Rama. Don't get confused with that Bharata. This Bharata is the brother of Rama, and they left everything for the sake of Lord Ram. Right? They did not enjoy. Bharat was given a whole kingdom, whole Ayodhya. He said, I'm not qualified. He kept the lotus feet, paduka of Lord Ram in the asana, and he was acting like a brahmachari. He was sleeping on the floor. He was not having proper food. For those 14 years, Bharata was so devoted to the Lord, and Lakshmana was serving the Lord so much. And last but not the least, Prabhupada himself. Yesterday we spoke, right? At the age of 70. Now you all might be in the 20s, right? You all are like below 25. You can't think of, even I'm below 25, we can't think of the pain the people go through when they are at age of 70. But then Prabhupada did not mind those small things. His vision was global vision, or it was a vision of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, what he had in his eyes, and he wanted to give Krishna consciousness. He wanted to make all of the world to know about Bhagavad Gita. That's how you all are benefited by Srila Prabhupada. He left his family, he took sannyas, and he just wanted to give when we take sannyas, it's not that we renounce from everything. We take Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. Before taking sannyas, we are the people, they are in one family. When they take sannyas, it's not a small thing, it's a huge thing. They are taking the whole world as their family. So Prabhupada took us as his family and he wanted us to give to Krishna. So that's the thing. And today's answers are like this. That first is Arjuna's indecision. Today we'll know clearly about it. And then what is body and what is soul, we will understand, we will distinguish between the soul and the body. And why we should know about the soul, that is also clarified in this chapter. And what is our prescribed duty, what we should do. And just now we asked, we have so many questions in our life, what we should do, what we should not do. In this chapter, it's answered. And what is Nishkama Karma Yoga? That means we are doing activities, but we should not get attached to that activity. How to do such activities? Let's understand. And one who does these activities, they are called liberated. So we'll know what are those qualities that these liberated souls have. Okay. So these are just a quick answers for those yesterday's reasons. That is compassion. He relates with the soul. And no enjoyment. He tells that if you die, you will get heaven. If you win, you will get the kingdom. So there is no question of enjoyment there. Then fear of sinful activities. So he tells about devotion activities. Devotional activities are not sin. He tells whatever activity you do in devotion to Krishna is considered as devotional activities. There is no sin for that. Then destruction of the family tradition. Then Krishna says, if you yourself are running to the forest, then you are setting an example for the future generation. Rather, you do your duty as a Kshatriya, you should fight. That's your duty and become a role model. And indecision, he tells about the determination the liberated soul has. Okay, we'll recite this shloka with all of you. We'll recite this shloka and then we'll move on. कार्पण्यदोषोपहता स्वभावा पृच्छामि त्वां धर्मसम्मूढचेता यच्छ्रेयशानिश्चितं ब्रूहि तन्मे शिष्यस्तेऽहं शाधिमां त्वां प्रपन्नम्. Okay, we'll repeat the shloka once again. You can repeat behind me. कार्पण्यदोषोपहता स्वभावा
कार्पण्यदोषो
पृच्छामि त्वां धर्मसम्मूढचेता
पृच्छामि त्वां धर्मसम्मूढचेता
यच्छ्रेयशानिश्चितं ब्रूहि तन्मे
यच्छ्रेयशानिश्चितं ब्रूहि तन्मे
शिष्यस्तेऽहं शाधिमां त्वां प्रपन्नम्.
शिष्यस्तेऽहं
साधिमां त्वां प्रपन्नम्.
Yes, thank you for reciting. So these shlokas, you can go through the book and you can by heart these shlokas. It's very nice shlokas that you should remember in your life. Not just shlokas, the meaning of the shlokas are very, very beautiful. You should remember these shlokas. So here, Arjuna is telling to Krishna here now again, because he was indecision, right? And after all these things, he'll tell, sorry, now I'm confused about my duties and have lost all composure because of the weakness. Karpanya dosha, kripana, that means weakness. Karpanya dosho, because of the weakness, I'm not able to understand anything about my duty. What is my duty? What is right? What is wrong? I'm not able to understand. Prachami tvam dharma sammuda cheta. I'm not able to understand. In this condition, I'm asking you to tell me clearly what is best for me. Now, what is Arjuna doing here? Imagine the situation. You are the president of India. Okay, you're a prince of England or something. You think of yourself as a royal person, and there is Krishna in front of you, the Lord's photo maybe, and all are seeing you, and you're not able to decide what is right and what is wrong. A foolish person may think I can do myself, and he may take a wrong decision. But an intelligent person, he does what? You are surrounded by so many great prime ministers of different nations, and you go and fall at the feet of that photo. You just go and bow down to that photo and you just cry, I'm not able to decide. I'm not able to decide. Will you have the guts to do that in front of so many big people? We don't have, but Arjuna had, because he wanted the real solution. He was not, did Arjuna ask Krishna, I'm not able to know which weapon I should use now, or which arrow should I use, or Gandiva, how to operate a Gandiva? He did not ask these questions. The questions in Bhagavad Gita are unimaginable for us. We are not able to imagine. Question was not here about which weapon to use. Arjuna knew this. He was a great chivalry. He was a great, you know, uh, he was a great warrior. He was not just Maharati. He was greater than Maharati. Atirati he was greater than Maharati. So he need not have these questions. Question was different. Question was like, I'm not able to know what is my duty. That was the question. I know all this warships. I know how to, how to break a chakravyuha. He knows everything. How to counteract another weapon. He knows. He was most intelligent among all the Pandavas. He knows everything. But then he was not able to know what was his duty right at that position. That's why he surrendered to Krishna. And what is he saying? Shishyaste ham shadi mam tvam prapannam. Till now, Arjuna and Krishna were like a friends. They're of same age. It's given in Shastras that they both are of same age. Arjuna and Krishna were of same age. But Krishna was always looking like a young man, whereas Arjuna and other Pandavas, they were growing a little older and older. But Krishna is always a young man. That's why he does not have a mustache and all of that. Because Shastras tell that, or because he's a Lord. If he is the Lord, he is not like us. If that's why we call him as a God. No, if God was like us only, what was the difference between me and God? He was supreme. So here, Arjuna is telling. Till now they were like friends, but from now, after this shloka, what Arjuna tells, he's telling Krishna, please accept me like a disciple. Before this, Krishna did not speak to Arjuna, or even if he spoke, he did not give any kinds of instructions to Arjuna. He did not give answers to Arjuna because Arjuna was not ready to listen. Always remember this. Until a person, what you tell, until the opposite person is submissive to you, or he is ready to listen to you, whatever you tell, he won't listen to you. He won't. Whatever you try to console him or to tell him the truth, he won't listen. There are some people, right? Even in your life, you might have come across such people that whatever you tell, they won't listen because they think they are great. They won't listen to you. But a person who takes you submissively, who considers your values, they can only listen to you. Now, Arjuna, before, he was not listening to Krishna. He was blah, 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 go on speaking. He was not listening. But now, after this shloka, he kept his mouth silent. He wanted to listen to Krishna. And Krishna later, he starts speaking. So, he wanted to tell that. So here, Arjuna surrendered to Krishna. How can I surrender to Krishna? How can I do that? For Arjuna, Krishna was there in front of him. How can I do? Because I can't see Krishna now. Yes, you can write in the chat. Believe and chanting his name, okay. By bhajan, that means worship, okay. By doing karma, what kind of karma we should do? What kind of karma? If you unmute, it will be very nice for me because I can ask you directly the questions and you can, brainstorming can be very effective. Okay. Okay. By detachment. Okay. By doing all work only for Krishna. Oh, okay. Very nice. Okay. By doing right karma. So where is that right karma written? Which is my right karma? Where it is written? How can I know? You have to raise your hand for unmuting, Mataji, if you are done here. Because I can't actually see your names here. Okay. So you have told all of your answers by doing right karma, by doing in the path of devotion and all of that. But where it is written? It's written in Bhagavad Gita. It's written here. By surrendering to the words of Bhagavad Gita, whatever you're learning here, whatever you're learning, try to imply in your own life. Okay. You can come to know. Today you understand I have to surrender to Krishna. Go in front of Krishna, the small deity, whatever you have, a photo you have, go in front of Krishna and you tell this shloka. You'll be very happy. You tell this shloka, Karpanya Doshapata Swabha, because we are in the position of Arjuna. We are not able to understand what we are doing in this life, right? Sometimes we are, what am I doing with my life? Right? We have that question. Out of frustration, we ask this question, no? What am I doing with my life? That question will be there. Same question Arjuna's was there. To understand Bhagavad Gita, yes. Imagining us at the place of Arjuna. Yes, very good. We should thank you, Mataji, for writing this. Vaishnavi Mataji. We should be in the place of Arjuna to understand Bhagavad Gita. It's not easy. To understand Bhagavad Gita, we should be in the place of Arjuna. So who all surrendered? You can unmute yourself and answer. I have allowed everybody to unmute. So who is this person here? Who is this? Which incident is this? You can unmute. Yes, Ishita Mataji. I can't hear you. Yes, quickly. Who is this? This person here. The first picture where the arrow mark is there.
Gajendra.
Gajendra, very good. Gajendra. And this is Gajendra Moksha, right? Crocodile was writing and he surrendered to Krishna ultimately. He called out loudly to Krishna in his mind and Krishna appeared there. Who is this?
Lord Brahma.
What happened to Brahma here?
He was egoistic.
He had an ego. How can Krishna come without informing me? Krishna is Lord. Why will he inform anybody before coming here? Right? So he was little bit egoistic. That's why Krishna made Brahma Vimohan Leela. And who is this? The small boy here.
Narsimhadev.
Prahlad.
Narsimhadev.
Prahlad. Right? He was always surrendered to Krishna or Narsimhadev. And this here, who is this?
Shri Bajrangbali.
Hanumanji, right? In the servitors, Hanuman is the greatest because he is giving so much service to Krishna, Rama, in the form of Rama. So here, how does Lord Krishna? Okay, you all have told very nice, good answers. Even in the chat box, many have you written. So here, there might be a question that how does Lord Krishna show us how to become a good teacher? Because Arjuna is surrendered to Krishna, that means he has to become a teacher to Arjuna now. So what are some of the qualities you see in Krishna as a teacher? Yeah, being a good student is for Arjuna. What about Krishna?
Patience.
Patience, because he was patient, right? For the whole first chapter. Yes, next.
Affectionate towards his student.
Affectionate in the sense, what? He was not scolding Arjuna anywhere. No? He was not scolding Arjuna. Arjuna, why are you doing like this? You should fight. No, he did not tell like that. No? He was very compassionate towards Arjuna. Then, did Krishna show any angry expression towards Arjuna? Why did you do this? Did he tell that?
No.
How was Krishna's face? Always smiling. Krishna always smiled. Can you see any picture where Krishna is so ferocious kind of a thing? No, you can't see. Nowadays they do their own imagination pictures, but According to the ISKCON paintings, according to the Shastras, there are no incidents where Krishna's face became so red and fire. Never such incident came. Yes, any other in the chat box? Mercy to his student. He isn't getting angry by understanding Arjuna's. Yeah, he understood where Arjuna's position was. Good listener, very good. Yeah, he understood Arjuna's position, in which condition he is. Explanation giving by Krishna, easier to make analysis, and immediate implementation by Arjuna, and was done instantly. Very good. Thank you for your wonderful answers. Very nice. So in this way, you yourself can come to know some of the answers before I tell that. No? Now tvam uvacha rishikesha prasanna iva bharata senayorubayormadhe vishidantam idam vacha. What is happening? Prasannam. After Arjuna surrendered, after that shloka, which is Karpanya dosha, just now we chanted, no? After that shloka, Krishna has a big smile in his face. Why? Now he came to know my student is ready to listen to me. Until a student is ready to listen to a teacher, he won't understand anything. Rather, he'll just debate with the teacher without understanding. But here, Krishna saw that Arjuna, yes, he is ready to listen to me. Now, when you say the same shloka to Krishna, Krishna also give you a big smile. He'll give you a big smile. Oh, now this person is so intelligent. He surrendered. He said to me this verse. I'll tell him Bhagavad Gita very easily. When Krishna will not scold us, he'll be very happy with us. The second thing is, he chastised Arjuna. In the sense, he scolded Arjuna, but it was like a sugar coat. He told Arjuna, you're speaking like a great person, but you're acting like a fool here. Because he's crying, no? He's crying for what? For the body of his relatives and all of that. Just for outer cover of that body. But because the soul is transcendental, he is speaking like a pandita, but a pandita never cries to a living or a dead person. He'll never cry. That was said by Krishna. That means he doesn't have compassion. He has, but in a right way. So he listened. Very nice. He all answered this and gives very readily he gives the answers to Arjuna and makes him surrender. Simply smiles and there was no anger. And bend but not break. That means he bent Arjuna, but he did not break. That means he was not scolding Arjuna anywhere. And answer to all the question in short immediately. Just the Saramsha, as I said, he did not go directly for big quotation. He just went small answers. Keep encouraging Arjuna, gives Arjuna the choice. At the end of Bhagavad Gita, in the 18th chapter, you can see a shloka where Krishna says, and now, after giving whole Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna, you make a choice. Arjuna was given a choice. That's a good teacher. He does not force you to do anything. Rather, he makes you understand and then in the end, he gives you a choice. Whether it's correct or not wrong, you decide. That's Krishna. He did not force Arjuna anywhere to fight. That we should remember. Krishna will never force us to do anything. It's our own decision we are doing. Okay, whenever Lord Krishna speaks in Bhagavad Gita, it is said Bhagavanucha. Why not Krishna Uvacha? Because we saw Dhritarashtra Uvacha, we saw Sanjay Uvacha, we saw Arjuna Uvacha. Why not Krishna Uvacha? Why do we tell Bhagavan Uvacha? Anybody knows the answer? You can raise your hand to unmute. Yes, anybody knows the answer for this? Why Krishna Uvacha? Why not Bhagavan Uvacha? I'll count for 5. You can raise your hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Yes, Krishna himself is supreme because he is Lord Vishnu. Yes, almost the answers. Okay. So we'll see why Bhagavan Vacha, why not Krishna Vacha. Bhagavan says, yes, Bhagavan Vacha means Bhagavan says, correct. Oh, quoting shlokas, Rishi, very good. Aham sarvasya prabhavo, very nice. Very nice. Okay, if you unmute, it will be very nice to me because I can hear you. No, it's very nice. So here, what you all can see here, you can see a hill or something. You can't see actually. Fog. What do you see here? What is this? You can unmute.
River.
What is it?
Lake.
What is this? Lake of kind of a fog, right? It's a fog kind of a thing. But if I go near that, I can see a mountain behind this lake. Can you see that? Mountain behind. So in mountain, what are there? There are several trees, no? But still further you go, you can see in the trees there are activities going on. That is, a bird is eating a fruit, or a reptile is there, or different animals are there in that forest, and different animals are doing different activities. You can see all this because here you can see you're very near. There is activity going on. In the same way, from outside, you know, many of them, many of you, when we ask, who is God, we all tell God is great. Who is God? God has a personality. God is a person, or God is a imperson. I'll ask you, who is God? God is a person or imperson? There might be so many answers.
Energy, I guess.
I can't listen to you anywhere.
God is not a single person.
God is a single person.
Not a single person.
Not a single person. Oh, okay. Okay, let's see. Let's see the answer. Okay, you have your own opinions and everything. But what Bhagavad Gita says, let's listen to that. So, from many of the spiritual people, they just tell at the beginning, we don't get introduced to who's God and everything. For us, God is something what we see as like an energy. No, whatever in this world energies we see, it's considered to be like a God, the nature or anything. Because people tell God has no personality. He is not an individual or an imagination. So many people have so many answers for this question. But then what Shastra says, like a sun, when you feel that it's almost morning, when you know the rays of sun, no, when the sun rays fall upon this earth, that time you come to know it's going to be morning now. No, in the same way the sun rays will tell us there is something beyond that sun rays. When you go outside and see, you can see like a disc. No, sun is kind of a disc, round. But then a person who does not know who actually sun is, he might think this is just like a bulb or a disc kind of a thing. But then you go to a library, you open a book about the planets, stars, and everything. There you read about sun. Then you come to know sun is like a planet. It's round. Inside the sun, there are flames coming out, and from the flames, the rays are coming. There are UV rays and so many other kinds of rays. Now you come to know about sun actually, because you are coming to know about the deep knowledge about the sun planet. In the same way, initially when we come to the spirituality, we tend to think that Lord is like an energy. He doesn't have a personality and all of that. But then as we go detail, we come to know that Lord has a form. He has a form. That's not that he does not have a form. He has a form. And what is the light? What people say as Brahma Jyoti is the effulgence coming out of the Lord. The effulgence we see in any pictures of Lord, we see a abha or kind of a light. No, that light is Brahma Jyoti. But then when we go beyond that, That is Paramatma feature. He has Chaturbuja and he has a form standing in a form with the club and a conch shell, lotus, and a disc. He's standing there. We come to know. Then more about the Lord you come to know in the Shastras when you read Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita. You come to know that Lord does not just have a form, he also does activities. He also has his own abode called Vaikunta, like Golok Vrindavan. He has his own planet, which is permanent planet, not like Earth, which causes destruction and everything. His planet is eternal. He is eternal. There are so many people around him who are serving him. There's Yashodamaya, there's Nand Baba, all the pastimes, the butter thief, and all these pastimes are there, which tells us that Lord does not only have a form, but also he does activities in his own way. That's the difference. So here, first was Brahman. Brahman realization is a minimal realization. Why? Because it's just the light what you're seeing. When you go deeper into that, you come to know Lord has a form called Paramatma feature. That's the 400 feature. Still further you go, you come to know that Paramatma does activities. Krishna does activities. You come to know that's the Bhagavan form. That's the Bhagavan form, which is the more sweetest form, because here in Bhagavan form, he's doing so many activities. He's laughing, he's cracking jokes, he's mischievous, he's doing so many activities. That's the ultimate. And devotees like to know about the Bhagavan feature of the Lord. That's why here Vyasdev, while writing Bhagavad Gita or Mahabharata, he used Sri Bhagavan Uvacha, because Bhagavan does pastimes. Because Krishna is the person, he could speak Bhagavad Gita. If that was a light, then there was nothing. Have you ever seen a bulb coming out of a light? Or you have seen a bulb in which light is coming out? It's ulta, no? From light, there is nothing. Only a person can give something. In-person cannot give you something. No? Only a person. That means Lord is a person. That's why he could give Bhagavad Gita. But he is not like us. There is a lots of difference between the God and the us. That's the difference. So here it is said that Ete cham kalapunsa Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. Krishna is the Swayam Bhagavan. He is the supreme personality of God. That's why in Bhagavad Gita, if you read Bhagavad Gita as it is, Prabhupada's right. Supreme personality of Godhead. Personality. Krishna or Bhagavan is not impersonal. He has a personal feature. That's why he's called personality. That's why he could do all kinds of activities. There is no limit for the Lord. For us, there is a limit. That's why we think Lord cannot be a person. If he is a person, then there should be a limit to a person. But Lord is not a person. That's what our understanding is. But Krishna is person, then his energies are unlimited. That's also true. He is transcendental, not like us. Okay, that we should understand here. And Aishwarya, Virya, Yasha, Shriya, Jnana, Vairagya, all are in unlimited. So understanding the three aspects, Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagavan. Bhagavan is the ultimate realization. That's the supreme realization. That's why here Bhagavan Vacha is quoted. So who am I? That's the question. The first question for compassion is answered here. That's actually to whom we are how to be compassionate. That is, we are not this body, we are souls. That's very important. If we are body, we'll see some of the PPTs on the basis by scientists. Some of the scientists, they told to the science, the modern science, that whatever you're concluding is actually wrong. There are 150 questions unanswered by today's scientists. And first question is, who am I? They still don't know who am I. Till now, the science, they could not conclude who am I. They are telling we are mind, we are brain, we are heart, so many answers. But Shastras, 5,000 years ago, they already told who are we. And what is it? We are souls. Dehinosmin yata dehe kaumaram yavvanam jara tata dehantara prapti dhirastatrana muhyati. Here Krishna tells that we all have our childhood photographs. All of us have, right? When a relative comes and asks you, who is this person? He opens the albums, childhood birthday albums will be there. What 2 years ka birthday, 3 years ka birthday, and he tells, who is this person here? What will you tell? That's me. But the body has changed. Our dead cells are going every day. Excretion is happening. That means our body is constantly changing. And we are eating food, it's causing glucose and giving us new cells, right? Our body is constantly changing. The dress we wore at the age of 5, we can't wear the same dress at the age of 15. That's logic. In the same way, our body and mind and brain keeps on developing, right? Our body, mind, and this keeps on developing. But we recognize like a small baby itself. Even that small picture of me can tell that's me. Why? Because although my body is changing, I am the same person till the time of death. And what does Krishna says? Tata dehantara praptir. Now, like, this is logic. From childhood, you go to a youth, and then you become old, then you die one day. We can see that progress of our body. And still we recognize ourselves even in this 5-year-old child. Even that photograph we recognize and tell that's me. And Krishna tells not just the death, after death, you will be transferred to another body. And who are we? We are not this body, we are souls. That we should understand. Until we understand that we are not this body, we are souls, we can't progress in spirituality. Because spirituality is for spirit souls, not for this body. Spirituality is continuous progress. It's not that I die today and tomorrow, next birth, I should start from the beginning. It's continuous progress. But in material world, the PhDs you have gathered, you have PhD. When you die, next life you have to start from LKG, UKG, KG classes, then grade 1, grade 2, right? You can't tell that in previous life I have done PhD. That's not possible. But for spirit soul, it's continuous in nature. So then, what are the qualities of a spirit soul? It cannot be cut. It cannot be made wet. It cannot be, burned. It cannot be withered. That means it moistured and withered. It cannot be done like that because the soul is transcendental. That means Krishna is telling Arjuna, whatever weapon you use, the body of your grandfather and your guru will die, but guru and grandfather are always there. Don't lament for such things because they are always constant. Okay, so that was the first answer, that we are the souls. What was the second question of his? That was, there's no enjoyment. Hatova pyapasi swargam. If you die in this war, Arjuna, you will get kingdom. I mean to say heavenly planet. If you live, jivit. Yes, if you live after the war, that means obviously you are won the war. Then you will enjoy this kingdom. So, tasmad uttishta kaunteya yuddhaya krit nishchaya. Some of them tell that Krishna is giving peace formula in Bhagavad Gita. We should follow peace. But here, this statement, tasmad uttishta kaunteya yuddhaya. When it's your duty, you should do that duty. It's your fighting, your kshatriya. Kshatriya's duty was to fight. Then you should fight. Krishna is telling this to Arjuna. Then he tells about if you run away, then your enemies will tell unkind words, and that will be more painful for a kshatriya. So then Krishna tells about sin. Arjuna tells, no, papam. So what does Krishna tell here? In the dharma, in the path of dharma, if you're doing it for the sake of Lord, according to what Lord has said in the scriptures, then there is no papa for you. That means Hanumanji, right? We went to that 6 aggressors. You remember yesterday's class? In that, putting fire to one's house was also there immediately to be killed. But Hanumanji put fire to the whole city. Did he was he hanged or killed? No. He instead, in Sri Lanka, even today, there is a big temple of Hanumanji is worshipped there with Lord Ram and Sita Maya, because he was doing in the path of devotion. Just now, we also gave the example of Vibhishan, right? Vibhishan Ravana told you are Kuladrohi, but even today, Vibhishan, there is a temple of Vibhishan in that place, and they worship Vibhishan like a servant of Lord Ram with Lord's picture and Vibhishan on the below. There is a picture in the DT there. He is worshipped as a servitor of servant of Lord Ram there. So what are they doing? They are not doing sin. Rather, in devotional service, whatever you do, your sin will be diminished. That your sin won't act there because you're not doing any sinful activities. And then he says, what about the future generation? So Krishna says, if you're running, Arjuna did not want to fight. That means he wants to run away from the fighting war field. So Krishna tells, if you yourself are running, then we may get a chance, no? We can tell our parents, see, Arjuna ran from war field, so I can also skip my exams, I don't want to. Although JE exam is coming tomorrow, because Arjuna ran away, in the same way, Arjuna is my role model. I will also run away from JE exams. We can tell like that. Because he is kind of a role model, because he was a great person. Now, a prime minister, if he smokes cigarette and he tells the citizen not to smoke cigarette, what will the citizens do? They'll see the act of the prime minister more than his words. No? How prime minister acts, according to his action, the citizens will also do. In the same way, Arjuna may speak so big things in the first chapter, compassion, sin, that, this, but he himself run away from the war field. Then his actions are seen by the next generation. They will follow the same. So Krishna did not want that to happen. Krishna told, you should yourself be a role model before you want another person to be a role model. Then in the last indecision, he says, Eke ha Kuru Nandana. What is this picture? Can anybody tell what this picture is about? You can raise your hand. I would like that more. Raise your hand and unmute. What is this picture here? Yes, Ishita?
Ekalavya.
No. It's not Ekalavya. See, this bird is here. Who is it? What is happening here? Arjuna's capability was tested by Dronacharya. Very good. Yes. Dronacharya was testing his capability. He asked all the Kauravas. He asked all the Pandavas except Arjuna. What you can see in that tree. It was a toy bird kept by, it was not a real bird, it was a toy bird which was kept by Dronacharya on the middle of the tree. Nobody could recognize. Bhima was telling, I can see the fruits. He was not beyond eating. He was saying, I can see fruits, Guru. I can't see anything else. In the same way, other people give other answers. Last, Dronacharya came to Arjuna and he told, hit the aim. And you can hear me? Admins, you can hear me?
Yes, Mataji, we can hear you.
Okay. I'm sorry. I think so. Something happened. So we'll continue still. So Yeah, so he is telling Ekeha Kurunandana. When it was the time of Arjuna, he saw that Arjuna directly aimed to the eye of that toy bird. So in that way, Krishna is telling, in that way itself, oh Partha, you should also aim towards the righteous act. That's the devotional service. So these were the 5 answers for the 5 questions, and it is also in the further shlokas it is said how a self-realized person is determined in devotional service, like Prahlad Maharaj, right? Prahlad Maharaj was never what you tell, he was never in the he was not scared of anything or kind like that. I don't know what happened to the screen. Okay, anyways, so he was never scared of anything. Prahlad Maharaj, did he ever tell, oh father, don't kill me? He never told that. Rather, he was always in meditation of Lord Vishnu. No, that is Ekeha. That means Vyavasayatmika Buddhi, always in the devotional service, always his intelligence in the one path. Even while you are studying for your exams, our mind goes here and there. What we tell, put your mind to your studies. It's very difficult, but then we try to do that. We should continuously try. Krishna says, although our mind is like waving here and there, but then we should try to make it in the right path. That means we should try to make our mind, it goes, it's like monkey, it jumps here and there, but we should try to get that mind back. Whenever you feel that, oh, I'm not concentrating, bring that mind back again and again, pull that. In that way it becomes a habit for the mind, and one day it will try to listen to you. So here you can see that as Arjuna was fixed in his goal, here Krishna is telling Arjuna, you should be fixed in your duty. Like you're a student, what is your duty? Your duty is to perform your activity in whatever in the college is given to you. You should perform your duty, right? What is your duty in the office? Whatever your boss has told to do, you should do that. That's your duty. In the same way, Kshatriya, as a Kshatriya, Arjuna had his own duties. He had to do it. So it was a duty of Arjuna to fight. And Krishna tells, you should fight. And better, and he says about many branches, right? Bahushaka hi anantascha. So the intelligence of those who are irresolute is in many branches. So who are not sorted out their path, they are like scattered. You have seen the roots of a big banyan trees. It's not in one way, it's scattered everywhere, scattered. In the same way, if we are not concentrated on one thing, just now, like now, we are in Bhagavad Gita class, but we are not concentrated in the class, then we will miss some important points. No, we are scattered here and there. I'm also seeing the TV, I'm also seeing this online class. Then there's a lot of disturbance. Our mind is not able to pick one thing. Multitasking is there, but then devote to one task, then it becomes 100% good for you, rather than going everywhere all over this. Okay, so he also tells that how do we fall down? We concentrate, but we don't. We sometimes tend to fall down. How is it? That is through dhyato vishayapansa. You might have witnessed this, no? There are girlfriends and boyfriends. How it starts from seeing one person. You are contemplating, you are seeing a person, your senses are engaged in seeing another person, a beautiful form of another person. Then your mind gets agitated, and what happens? You get attracts to that opposite person. Then what happens? Sangasteshu bhajayate. You always want to be with that person, no? That kind of attachment will be there. But sangat sanchayate kama. Then comes attachment, then comes lusty desires. Bodily affection, lusty desire comes. Then when your lust is not fulfilled, what happens? When your lust is not fulfilled, then you get angry. And what happens when you get angry? Our intelligence won't be. You see that suicide cases, acid attack cases. What happens? Their lust was not fulfilled. And then they went to, as I said in yesterday's class, dissatisfied mind always goes to sinful activities. Because the lust was not satisfied, the mind is agitated. And when mind is agitated, what happens? The whatever good you have learned in all this life, you forget and do all bad activities. Start doing bad activities. You take liquor. You do sinful activities. You try to plunder others. You try to kill others, and all of that happens. The suicide cases, because their lust was not fulfilled. They had a beautiful life, but they destroyed themselves because of uncontrollable mind. No? Because they wanted to fulfill, but they did not. And they do all sorts of sinful activities, and ultimately the intelligence will stop working. And then you fall down again to this material world. What you wanted to become, you should go high, but then we went down because our attachment was there to one sense object. It need not be the opposite sex itself. It may be your uh, what you tell grades. Sorry, the screen went. I don't know what happened, but anyways, uh, like for example, grades maybe, or a trophy, winning positions and all of that is like a is kind of like a drugs itself. We want to take more and more, and what happens? You get attracted, you get attached, and then when you don't get, we see such cases also, right? A person has made a suicide because he was missed by one rank, one score to get first rank, and he suicided. We see such cases in daily life. We see why it happened. Because uh, because of this only, because he was not completely in one path, rather his mind was agitated. Okay, so we should always be in one path and decide according to what is given in the scriptures, according to what your elders have taught you. That's better way, because they have gone through it and they are trying to tell you. And who is the eldest person? That's Krishna. So better you go through Bhagavad Gita, because it's the best guide for everyone. So I hope you go through Bhagavad Gita and you understand what is the essence of Bhagavad Gita. And in these 18 days, I hope for a beautiful, successful life forward for you. Hare Krishna. Any questions you have, you can write in the chat box or you can ask. If you have written already a question, you can repost the questions again. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Mataji, can you once again explain the answer number 4?
Answer number 4 for traditional, no? I muted you maybe. For the traditional one, about the tradition will go, that one. For that, Arjuna, Krishna tells, if you yourself are running away, what was the thing Arjuna was not clarified was, if all the men will die in the battlefield, then who will take the responsibility of the women and children, because they won't have a role model to set up. But then Krishna makes the same question to Arjuna. If you yourself are running away from battlefield and not following your own duty of a Kshatriya, then what do you expect from your next generation? They will also become like, Varna Sankaras, good for nothing. We tell such people, no, you're good for nothing, because they are not acting according to what society is expecting them to act. So Arjuna does not follow what Krishna tells, or does not follow his duty, then he can't expect others to follow the same thing, no? So yadyad achariti shrestha tattat eve tarojana. Whatever a great personality is doing, like that the citizens and the followers will also do. So if Arjuna is not an ordinary person, he's the prince, right? He's the prince of Pandus, Pandavas. Is almost the king. He's king himself. If king itself is not following, then he can't expect the citizens to follow the same. So that was the answer given by Krishna. Yes, Deepesh Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Mataji, my question is, unlike Arjuna, I am not a Kshatriya, so I'm not gonna fight or become a warrior. So what is my duty in life?
Yes. So for Arjuna, it was Yudhyacha. That means you should do Yuddha. For us, whatever duty we are, may I know what you are doing, Prabhu, like a studies or a job?
Yes, I am a
Whatever.
student. I am
Yeah, you're
pursuing
a student.
BPA.
Oh, very nice. So you are a student. So what is your duty is to study and get a good marks, and whatever whatever your responsibility as a student, as a son in the family, as a relatives, among the relatives, as a friend, whatever duties are there, that has to be followed right way. And the best duty is to follow what Krishna has told in Bhagavad Gita. What has he told? Always think of Krishna and meditate on him, and also do what Krishna has told in Bhagavad Gita. That is, he told in this chapter itself, no, rather than going everywhere, better be in the path of devotion. That means better you go and do devotional service rather than doing all other, because when you do devotional service, all other things fall into place. You're doing studies, next you will pursue a job, or you will start an enterprise or anything, whatever you feel like. Then whatever income, whatever thing you are getting, you give it to your family, and give some a part of it to the devotional work. In that way, your duty is done there. No, what your duty as a student is getting a good marks and getting to a good job, and whatever your family is expecting from you, you should go to that path. And also that not just fixing on that material path, but also progressing in devotional path. That's how, that is through chanting Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, doing what Krishna has told in Bhagavad Gita. There are many instructions coming in next chapters. You feel that, oh, I can do these things. They are not impossible tasks what Krishna is giving. Krishna is giving what we can do. So following that with your regular studies will be a very good options for you, Prabhu. Hare
Thank you,
Krishna.
Mataji.
Hare Krishna. I hope I have answered your question, Prabhu. Okay. Anamika Mataji.
Hare Krishna. I want to ask that you said that unsatisfied mind leads to sinful activities. So my question is, how can we, satisfy our unsatisfied mind through Bhagavad Gita? What lesson should we take from Krishna and Arjun conversation so that our unsatisfied mind gets composed and calm, and we can lead
Yeah.
to a peaceful life?
Yes. Uh, yes, Mataji. In further chapters, in 17 chapter, not just 17, even in 14 chapter, Krishna tells about sattvic life. Now, first understand this, that a fresh life, lifestyle gives you a fresh mind, your peaceful lifestyle. People want peaceful lifestyle, but how it starts? With the sattvic, the sattva. Get up early, sleep early, have a good routine of your life, because mind is to be trained. It's not artificially. You cannot make a mind controlled by you. It should be trained. First you should train yourself, and it starts from the body. We tell, right, jaisa and vaisa man, no? Whatever you eat, it accordingly your consciousness will be. So your food can be a sattvic, have a sattvic diet rather than eating whatever you get. Have a good diet, whatever dal chawal or anything, offer it to the Lord and then have it. Have a sattvic lifestyle, and choose your association. In social media, what happens nowadays, you get so many things as a notification, but you have the option to choose what you want. So choose in a right path which gives you happiness and peaceful rather than going to everything. That's what Krishna was telling to Arjuna. So many calls today. Okay. So in this way, and also having a sattvic life, routine lifestyle, your mind will also have, because what happens, mind just captures what you have stored, today I went to that person, I spoke like that, all he spoke was negative and bad thing. That impacts your mind, your whole day will be a negative. You have experienced that. You go to a person and person is speaking all negative, morning he starts speaking negative, or you hear a very bad news morning, your whole day will be bad because our mind recollects again and again. So mind is what is the life what you have left, lived whole together from your childhood till present. Whatever you have recollected, it starts recollecting. So have a good choice. Make a choice, good choice, that what you want. You have to prioritize everything, Mataji. Then only you can actually understand how can you control your mind. You should try to prioritize yourself than going for everything. And having a sattvic life is the best option. And ultimately, you should chant the holy name of the Lord. That's Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. That will calm your mind, that will make you peaceful. Many of them they experienced. So even myself, I'm not a big person, but then myself have experienced that it calms your mind. Your disturbed mind whole day. Before sleeping, just chant Hare Krishna, or there will be audio available. Just play it. I can give you an example. My friend, not a close friend, but I know her from. She lives in abroad. She she was telling that she was not able to sleep. They take sleeping pills. You have heard that, sleeping pills, and then they'll sleep because they won't get sleep at the night because their mind was so disturbed by whole day. Then she was introduced to Krishna consciousness, and they give always tell chant Hare Krishna, and she started chanting. And she was not willing to chant till then, but then suddenly she was thinking, she had no other work in the night. It was night, 12 o'clock, and she was like, okay, I try to chant. She took the chanting beads and started chanting. And as she was chanting, she fell asleep. And next day morning she got up herself. She was like, I was taking sleeping pills to sleep all these days because my mind was not in place. But this, as I chanted, I felt nice sleep that I didn't even get a dream. I was like deep sleeping. And this is a miracle for her because she has consumed so many sleeping pills just to sleep in the night. So chanting really helps, Mataji. So you start chanting; it's very good. I hope, Anamika Mataji, I hope your questions are answered by this. Somewhere I tried to. Ultimately, you have to try it. Uh, I think so. Anamika Bhatia has asked the question.
Yes, Mataji, you have solved my problem. Thank you. Quite
Nice.
nearby answer.
Yeah. Sairaj Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah, Mataji, my question was that why did Krishna Bhagavan choose only Arjun? Like he could have chosen the other four Pandavas also, but why only Arjun?
Very intelligent question. Many of them they ask this because see, Arjuna was not just as what you tell among the Pandavas. He was just like a brother for them. But then he was, first of all, he was like a friend for Krishna. That can be a normal answer to give. But then if you see Arjuna in previous life, he was Nara Narayana. If you have heard the term Nara and Narayana, Arjuna was Nara in that, and Krishna was Narayana. So he was already associate of Lord. He was already in past life, he was associate of Lord. And among all the Pandavas, Arjuna was most compassionate among all of that. And he was so devoted to the Lord. Although he knew the position of the Lord, all Pandavas, although they knew the position of the Lord, but Arjuna was the special one because he was chosen by the Lord. Because, see, for a king to get that kind of compassion that I'll go out and beg rather than doing this war, that statement is said by Arjuna in previous chapter, in the first chapter. He tells to Krishna, rather than fighting in this war, I'll go out and beg. Now it's the son of a king. He's telling that I can beg. No Pandavas said that, but Arjuna was ready to do that because of his humility and the humble nature what Arjuna had in him. All Pandavas are extraordinary. All Pandavas are great devotees of the Lord. But Arjuna was the personal associate of the Lord. That's why Arjuna was chosen by the Lord himself. Okay.
Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. There is another hand raised. Is there any question in the chat? At the time of preaching Bhagavad Gita, time stop. I did not understand your question, Ritika Mataji. Okay. So we'll end this class. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Anand Koti Vaishnavindi ki jai, Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Ajit Prabhuji, you have a question? You can unmute. Others, those who don't have a question may leave. Ajit Prabhu, if you have a question, quickly you can ask or we can end this session. Okay, please attend tomorrow's class. Tomorrow's class is on Karma Yoga. It's very important. Just now you asked about your duties, right? Krishna is going to specify about that, about your duties, what you should do. Okay. It's the last. It's Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha. It's for the all devotees of the Lord. Okay. Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Who gave us all the mercy to understand about the Lord, they are Vaishnavas. So we are praying to them that they will become merciful on us and give us this knowledge. Okay, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, everyone. You can all tell Hare Krishna quickly. And can I?
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna.